We're back with the Screen Team, and we are ready to do some reviewing. We're ready to do some Terminator action. I've got my good friend Matt here. Matt is a expertise, if you will, on the Terminator series. All right, he knows them, he loves them. So I've acquired his help in this latest review, this latest installment, if you will, of the Terminator series. This one is called Terminator Genisys, and it's number 5, right, Matt?
That's correct.
What were your thoughts initially when you heard another Terminator movie was being made?
Kind of the same feeling I had whenever they announced Terminator 3. Why are they doing this? This isn't necessary. Terminator 2 capped everything off perfectly, had a great ending that was both satisfying and still artistic. But I'm a Terminator nut, so I'll go and see it anyway.
So you saw it. Did you see it in theaters last summer, or did you see it on DVD?
I did. And funny note, my wife cannot stand Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. I don't know why. I think it's the coolest voice. When anybody can do an impression of you and they know, and people know who you're imitating, that's an iconic voice. You know, and Morgan Freeman the same way, if you can even imitate his voice. But, you know, everybody's got a Schwarzenegger impression. She never liked him. And this was the first Terminator movie that she enjoyed. And I don't know what the difference was. I think maybe it was more from a female perspective with Emilia Clarke as taking the helm of Sarah Connor. You know, Sarah Connor in the original was great too, but she was not as much of an action star yet. She would become that in T2. But
she sure did, man. She was ripped.
Unbelievable, yeah.
She was ripped. So you saw it. Did you like it?
It is much better than it's given credit for.
Really? I'm really surprised you say that.
Yeah. Well, I went in with everybody hating it. I didn't see it opening weekend.
Yeah.
So I was ready to, I guess, rip it apart, and I enjoyed it more than, because at this point, the last 2 movies had just been blockbuster type films. T3 was successful at the box office. T4 was okay. I don't know why. I don't think they made enough money to justify doing another sequel, but I think that they had a prequel plot twist that they ruined by spoiling it in the trailers, actually. I think that would have been a much better plot point for Arnold to battle himself. You know, that would have been a cooler way to go about it if they would reveal that in the movie. But I think that they were really anxious to draw up some interest in the movie. I think that was a miscalculation, but I enjoyed it. I like the cast other than Jai Courtney.
He's like Hollywood is like trying to push him on us,
right?
And he's not it, man.
No,
he is not it.
Yeah, and he's another Australian actor, right?
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth. He's not.
Yeah,
and nothing against the guy. I don't dislike him, but I just haven't seen anything with him that I enjoyed. Now, Suicide Squad looks like it's going to break the trend.
Yeah, I agree.
He looks pretty good on that, but even then, you have an entire stellar cast of people that would steal a show in most other franchises, with Harley Quinn and, with Killer Croc and stuff like that. I still am not very familiar with this character in that movie, but this one he played Kyle Reese, and Kyle Reese is one of the great heroes in all of science fiction. He's John Connor's father. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry for anyone that hasn't seen the first Terminator and doesn't know that, but he does not look like Kyle Reese. He does not look like, he doesn't have the same kind of personality or character directive that the original had.
His body looks more like Arnold's body. He
does. He's a pretty big guy. Yeah. And he's not huge, but he looks like a big athlete. Whereas with Kyle Reese in the original films was kind of he was like a scrapper.
Yeah.
He looked like a survivor. He didn't look like he had time to train for this movie role. You know what I mean? He looked like a soldier, a little bit more wiry and stuff. And he was just an odd choice, I think, overall. But I enjoyed Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor.
She really looked like Linda Hamilton.
She nailed it. You know. Yeah, they did a good job of presenting her that way. Schwarzenegger was always the best part for me. I think that they were both. It was tongue-in-cheek and very self-aware, but it still was a loving tribute to the original Terminator movies, and with his performance in that. Jason Clarke, I really enjoyed him as John Connor. Yeah. It's weird how different every John Connor looks from every movie. They can't keep it consistent. Christian Bale is still probably my favorite adult portrayal of him, but you can't touch Edward Furlong. He was
good.
Terrific. He was, yeah.
He definitely was good. I did not like this movie at all, and I guess
that's fair.
I mean, I don't even know where to start, guys. I really don't. I guess my main gripe was the screenplay and the storyline. I was so confused on what was going on. Obviously, time travel is a hard subject to kind of grab your mind around. But I think I understand the timeline and everything in Terminator. but I didn't understand where this alternative timeline came that they kept referring to in this movie. You had the one timeline where Judgment Day happens on this day, and then this happens this day, and all this happens. And now they were saying, oh no, we've got this alternative timeline. Judgment Day doesn't happen this day. We want to go to 2017. Why are we going to 2017 again?
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me? Can Matt Whitworth explain that to me?
My brother-in-law said that it's a multiverse, and that's almost the only way that it works with the timeline. I disagree with that. I think the first two movies are flawless in every single way possible, and I refuse to look at them objectively because I love them so much. But this one, I guess it kind of ignores, kind of like, I guess, some of the other Marvel movies and how they just ignored some of the like the X-Men movies. They're not really from the Marvel cinematic universe, but they kind of ignore some of the other X-Men franchises and movies and stuff. So,
and is that what this one was trying to do, so they could make more?
I think so, yeah. Because if you look at Terminator Salvation, it was okay. It was just kind of there. It was a better movie than Terminator 3, but it wasn't nearly as fun as either of the other two. It's like, if you can't be good, you might as well be kind of fun, and at least a fun blockbuster. And I think that's what this movie did better of than Salvation. But Salvation, I think, was a more solid film and at least made sense from the timeline. Yeah. It was just so claustrophobic and narrow because so many people had died off. It was a very limited cast. It really felt like Skynet had won in that movie, and that's not really the feeling that I enjoyed from the other movies, where it felt like they had a fighting chance because of John Connor.
So we have all these alternative timelines. What's the point of fighting Skynet? Because Skynet always is they're going to win.
Exactly. Well, in this movie, they said the difference was always John Connor, so that's why they had a different approach in this movie. I don't want to give too much away. Yeah. Not that this is a movie that I think diehard fans are going to really embrace, and so, but it's. I don't know. It's okay that they did a multiverse, but it's just like, why do any more Terminator movies? And Emilia Clarke isn't even going to come back to the franchise. She didn't. I don't know that she enjoyed her experience with this. I think that she saw the film for what it was and said, "Well, that was fun."
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the film, because I think, if I read something correctly, that I think the film rights go back to James Cameron in 2019.
Nobody but James Cameron should have done that. And I'm not even a James Cameron fan anymore. I love his old work. Yeah. I love the first couple Terminators. Aliens is great. Yeah. True Lies is a fun movie. I don't like Titanic or anything after that.
I agree with you, man.
And so, but if he can get the rights back, maybe it'll be like Prince getting the rights back to his music, or Paul McCartney getting the rights to the Beatles music at one point, because I think that it's better in his hands than someone else who maybe doesn't understand the franchise and goes up for cash grabs. But this really wasn't that much of a flop financially. Right. It actually made more money overall in the world gross in the box office than Mad Max Fury Road did.
That's
Another
crazy.
80s. I know, crazy. Because domestically, Fury Road slaughtered Terminator.
Yeah.
But Terminator almost made another $100 million more than Fury Road internationally.
Yeah. He's Matt Whitworth. He's rocking the Terminator sunglasses. I'm trying to, failing miserably. We have more reviews coming your way next, right here on KWOC.